Tonight on Q2, residents demanding answers but receiving very little.
This is water bills rise and some threaten not to even pay them. An audit now on the horizon, but not even the city knows what that will look like.
We understand that the public needs to have confidence restored, and I believe that's only going to come through an independent audit of the system.
Plus, the Elk Fire once again explodes overnight in Sheridan County, Wyoming, leaving an entire town on high alert. We'll have the latest on the flames.
And a crime in Carbon County that even left the sheriff in disbelief.
I've never seen an incident like this.
The man accused of intentionally killing another in a seemingly unprovoked road rage attack has his day in court.
The MTN 530 news starts right now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Andrea Lutz.
And I'm Russ Riesinger. Tonight we're asking questions about a possible audit on the city's water system after thousands of residents received skyrocketing high bills this summer. However, in these early stages, we're getting little answers.
All the while, Billings Public Works leaders double down on the chaos, saying the bills are correct. But in an effort to regain trust, the public and even council members are demanding more is done in addition to that audit.
Tonight, our Isabel Spartz has the latest on this ongoing saga.
After Monday's city council meeting, residents are frustrated with high water bills, and some even claiming that they won't pay until a resolution has been made. But the city maintains confidence in their billing system.
4 times the amount is absolutely ridiculous.
Tensions reached a boiling point Monday after City Council held a special council meeting about the recent high utility bills.
I've told you for close to a week now that I think we need an audit.
Billings City Council member Jennifer Owen was vocal at the meeting. She didn't back down on that statement Wednesday.
It's important to me that we look at the entire process start to finish, both from that initial meter reading all the way into the generation of the bill to the customer. It could take a few months, but I think it's essential that we do it.
Now, the city is in those beginning steps to get an audit started.
First thing is we're trying to determine who does it.
The city said Wednesday they had begun reaching out to multiple firms and believe the audit is twofold. One to review billing and another to verify the accuracy of water meters. However, Public Works is still confident that their readings are correct.
We still maintain that the meters are correct and the software is billing accurately. There's always those one-off human errors, but those are isolated, not an actual software or meter issue that we've found so far. So about 95% of our customers have not complained about high bills.
The city is still not planning late fees or water shutoffs yet. They still encourage residents to pay what they can.
We are encouraging people to pay a little bit, even though we're not requiring it right now, just for their sake.
In Billings, Isabel Spartz, MTN News.
The fire watch continues tonight for residents in Sheridan County, Wyoming. The Elk Fire forced more evacuations and shifted in size to more than 32,000 acres, putting the entire town of Dayton on standby for evacuation. That fire is burning in the Bighorn National Forest. Pass Creek Road and Twin Creek Road are now under evacuation orders, in addition to Tongue River Canyon Road. Tongue River School and Slack School also remains closed for a third straight day. There's some 200 firefighters fighting that fire, which is 0% contained right now. For residents in the area, the nights of living on edge is growing as they wait for any sign of hope.
If you can get the truck to it and it's in the prairie, it's not too tough to put out, but the topography is making it pretty difficult. It's a lot of draws and ditches and stuff where you just can't get the truck there. So the air support's been quite a bit of help. If you can figure out where to guide them into, they can really get it stopped pretty good.
The incident command team is holding a meeting tonight at Tongue River Middle School in Ranchester beginning at 7. We will be at that meeting. We'll have the latest tonight at 10.
About these morning temperatures, we were at 57 in Billings, 63 in Livingston, 62 in Cody. Now 57 is the warmest overnight temperature recorded for all 3 of these locations. So assuming we don't drop below 57 degrees by midnight, we're going to set some records for a very warm start. In fact, this isn't that far from where an average temperature would be for a high this time of the year. Compare that with the 30s down in Worland and Grable first thing. But as we got into the afternoon, 60s and 70s, noticeably cooler across northern and western Montana. That's colder air that's going to affect our forecast for tomorrow. We'll take a look at the complete 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes from now.
Tonight, an update on a road rage suspect accused of killing a motorcyclist in Carbon County appearing in court. The case even has experienced law enforcement appalled. 47-year-old Michael Gambale was brought back to Montana from Wyoming, where 30 miles of terror finally ended on the road in a deliberate homicide charge. Charlie Kleps reports.
That accident happened here near mile marker 8 of Montana Highway 72. It's a tragic incident that's left both law enforcement and those in the community rattled. As the dust continues to settle,
it's very concerning.
Many around Carbon County are struggling to comprehend what truly happened last Tuesday.
Words are hard to come by on such a senseless tragedy.
That senseless tragedy started with a road rage and conflict call near Laurel and ended here, where Michael Gambale allegedly used his vehicle to force a motorcycle off the road, killing the driver and seriously injuring the passenger.
It's just another any given day, and to have this going down the road, basically on motorcycles that are defenseless, is pretty shocking to everybody.
Gambale appeared for the first time in front of a Carbon County judge Wednesday. He pleaded not guilty to 1 count of murder and 3 counts of attempted murder. The bond was kept at $1 million despite efforts from his attorney. Carbon County Sheriff Josh McQuillan says that in his 20 years of serving the sheriff's office, he's never seen anything like it.
They're used to seeing a lot of tragic things. It's just uncalled for.
McQuillan confirmed Wednesday that the victim, 70-year-old Martin Hans Peter, was a tourist who was visiting the area from Switzerland, something he says adds to the devastation.
These people came here for a reason, to see this beautiful area. We value that. We're very mindful of tourism and what it brings to this county.
Some have questioned if it should have happened at all. Gambale was arrested on probation violation on September 17th, but was released on bond just days before this incident, a timeline McQuillan hopes is explained during the investigation.
I think there's obviously those questions are being asked right now. I don't have the answers for that. I mean, this is going to be a long process.
Gambale's next hearing has been set for November 20th, with a trial scheduled for February 10th.
Our sympathy goes out to this family. I mean, this was unprovoked, senseless, really just no words to describe on.
In Carbon County, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
Yellowstone National Park will scale back search efforts to find missing 22-year-old Austin King. King has been missing in the park for more than 2 weeks since reaching the summit of Eagle Peak. More than 100 people are searching Eagle Peak from the ground and the air. Officials say they aren't finding any clues as to where his whereabouts are. Yellowstone National Park says limited search efforts will continue as long as conditions allow.
By now, you're likely tired of campaign ads flooding TV, radio, even our mailboxes. This year, millions of dollars are spent on ads for Montana's Senate race.
Well, tonight we check in on those ads, asking if the claims hold up. Senior political reporter Jonathan Ambarian takes a look at John Tester's ads on abortion in tonight's Truth Be Told.
Abortion rights have been a major campaign issue for Democratic candidates across the country this year, and that's true for Senator John Tester as well. One recent ad from the committee Republicans for Tester claims that his opponent, Tim Sheehy, would open the door to an abortion ban here in this state.
The last thing Montana women need is having the government tell us what we can do with our own bodies. Tim Sheehy wants to let politicians ban abortions, even here in Montana.
This marks the first major election since the overturning of Roe v. Wade, so it's perhaps no surprise abortion is a hot topic on the campaign trail. Tim Sheehy's campaign says he's proudly pro-life and favors common sense protections for when a baby feels pain. with exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. And in a statement to Montana Public Radio, Sheehy said, quote, further limits must be left to the states. But Senator Jon Tester's campaign argues that would allow states to introduce broader abortion bans, noting Republicans in the Montana legislature have already passed laws to tighten abortion rules, even though most have been held up in court.
Certainly abortion is a major issue for Democrats for going on the offense.
Louis Jacobson is a chief correspondent with PolitiFact. MTN has partnered with the nonpartisan website to fact-check campaign ads like these.
Sheehy wants to take away our personal freedoms.
Jacobson researched a more specific claim that Sheehy would allow politicians to pass abortion bans without exceptions, and found that claim mostly false, although he says there is an element of truth.
It would be kind of within a state's right to put in place a ban on abortion with zero exceptions. He personally says he doesn't want to see that happen, but by saying that states should decide, he is creating a pathway for the state to do that regardless of what his own personal preference is.
While Sheehy has been quoted criticizing CI 128, this year's ballot measure that would specifically add abortion rights to Montana's constitution, he said during Monday night's debate that if Montana voters approve it, he'll respect that.
I'm a law and order candidate who believes in our Constitution, both of our state and our federal government, and if the people of Montana vote for it and it passes, then it's the law of the land.
Sheehy's views on abortion certainly contrast with Tester, who called for reinstating Roe v. Wade at the national level during the debate. Join us at the same time tomorrow for our next Truth Be Told segment, focusing on an ad from the Sheehy campaign. You can find all of our Truth Be Told stories on our MTN websites. In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
Well, still ahead on tonight's MTN 530 News here on Q2. As our pink breakfast nears, we meet a fashion designer turned filmmaker who is using his platform to warn about the dangers of chemicals in women's clothing.
And later, a shooting star, Rockies' leading scorers, helping the Batlin Bears compete with some of the nation's best teams. We'll meet our Athlete of the Week in just a bit.